August 29, 1967, Liverpool, Jewish cemetery, rain pouring, 4 men in black. The Beatles stood together, sunglasses hiding tears, umbrellas failing against the downpour. In the casket before them, Brian Epstein, 32 years old, dead 3 days. Their manager, their protector, their 5th Beatle, gone. The rabbi spoke Hebrew, ancient words, rituals of mourning, but the Beatles heard nothing. Just rain, endless rain, like the sky was crying with them. Paul McCartney swayed slightly, knees buckling. George caught his arm. "I've got you." John Lennon stood rigid, face stone, but his hands shook. Cigarette after cigarette, chain-smoking grief. Ringo held an umbrella over all 4, trying to shelter his brothers, knowing he couldn't, not from this. What happened at that graveside, what Paul did, what John said, what they all lost that day, marked the beginning of the end. If you want to witness the moment the Beatles realized they weren't invincible, when family became loss, tap that subscribe button, because this story is about grief, gratitude, and goodbye. Brian Epstein, born 1934, Liverpool, Jewish family, NEMS record store owner, sophisticated, elegant, educated, everything the Beatles weren't. November 1961, he walked into the Cavern Club, saw 4 scruffy boys playing rock and roll, leather jackets, greasy hair, smoking on stage, crude, raw, dangerous. Everyone saw problems. Brian saw potential, magic, something worth fighting for. He approached them after the show. "I'd like to manage you." John looked at him, this posh man in a suit. "What do you know about rock and roll?" "Nothing," Brian admitted. "But I know about business, presentation, making people see what I see." "And what do you see?" Paul asked. "The biggest band in the world," Brian said simply. "If you'll let me help you." They said yes. November 1961, contract signed. Handshake sealing destiny. Brian transformed them. Suits instead of leather. Choreographed bows. Professionalism. "You're not thugs," he told them. "You're artists, act like it." He got them recording contract. EMI. George Martin. "Please Please Me." He got them television, radio, press, everywhere. Relentless, tireless. He got them America, Ed Sullivan, Shea Stadium, conquering the impossible. But more than business, Brian loved them, really loved them. Protective, paternal, devoted. When fans threatened, Brian stepped between. When press attacked, Brian defended. When money problems arose, Brian handled everything, never bothering them with details. "You make music," Brian said. "I'll make sure the world hears it." And he did. He kept his promise. He made them gods. But gods don't need managers, and that's what destroyed Brian. 1966, the Beatles stopped touring. Last concert, August. Candlestick Park, done. Brian's purpose, his reason, evaporated. "What do I do now?" Brian asked. "If they don't tour, what am I?" The Beatles were happy, free from screaming, from danger, from exhaustion. But Brian was lost, unneeded, watching his boys grow beyond him. He struggled with depression, always had, but now it consumed him. Pills, sleeping pills, too many combinations, dangerous, alcohol, too much, too often, numbing, escaping, loneliness, profound. Despite fame, despite success, empty. His sexuality, hidden, illegal in 1960s Britain, shameful, secret. He couldn't be himself, couldn't love openly, couldn't be free. The Beatles were his family, his purpose, his everything. And they were pulling away, not cruelly, just growing up, moving on. August 1967, Beatles in Wales. 8 in a Maharishi retreat, meditation, spirituality, finding themselves. Brian wasn't invited, not intentionally excluded, just not part of this journey. He stayed in London, alone. His house in Chapel Street, too big, too empty. August 27th, Sunday, Brian took pills, too many pills, intentional or accident, nobody knows. His assistant found him Monday morning, August 28th, dead, 32 years old, gone. August 28th, 11 a.m., Wales, Beatles in meditation session, peaceful, centered, calm. Someone knocked on the door, urgent, insistent, breaking the silence. Paul answered, saw the pale face, the trembling hands. "What's wrong?" "It's Brian," the assistant said, voice breaking. He's dead." The room froze. 4 Beatles, suspended in disbelief. "What?" John said, not accepting, not understanding. "What do you mean dead?" "They found him this morning. Pill, he's gone." Paul's legs gave out, collapsed, literally fell, hitting the floor hard. George caught him, held him, both crying, immediately, completely. John stood up, walked out, said nothing, face blank, in shock. Ringo put his head in his hands, shoulders shaking, silent sobs. They drove back to London, 4 hours, nobody spoke. What was there to say? August 29th, the funeral, Jewish tradition, burial within 24 hours, no time to process. The Beatles arrived separately, too raw to face each other, too broken to be strong together. Paul came first, black suit, dark sunglasses, face pale, hands shaking. George next, quiet, withdrawn, already somewhere else, already grieving. Ringo third, practical even in grief, making sure arrangements were correct, helping where he could. John last, late, cigarette in mouth, sunglasses dark, walls up, heart closed. The cemetery, Jewish section, Liverpool, where Brian's family was buried. Rain, heavy rain. August should be warm, but cold, gray, morning weather. Hundreds attended, family, friends, music industry, everyone Brian had touched. But the Beatles, they stood apart, together but separate, their own island of grief. Rabbi spoke, Hebrew prayers, ancient rituals for the dead. Brian's mother, Queenie, crying, supported by family, broken. She looked at the Beatles, her boys, Brian's boys, and nodded, acknowledging. They were family. Brian had loved them like sons. She knew, everyone knew. The coffin, simple pine box, Jewish tradition, no luxury, just dignity. Brian inside, cold, gone. The man who'd made them possible, finished. Paul stared at it, couldn't look away, couldn't accept. This isn't real, can't be real. John smoked, wouldn't look, couldn't look. If he didn't see it, maybe it wasn't true. George closed his eyes, praying. Hindu prayers, Christian prayers, Jewish prayers, all prayers, any prayers. Please. Ringo held an umbrella over all 4, trying to protect them from rain, from reality, from everything. The coffin was lowered, slowly, ropes creaking, into the earth. That's when Paul broke, completely broke. He lunged forward. No, we're not ready. We didn't say goodbye. George grabbed him, held him back. Paul, it's okay. It's not okay, Paul sobbed. Nothing's okay. He's gone. He left us. We left him first, John said, voice flat, harsh, honest. Paul turned. What? We stopped touring. John continued. Stopped needing him. stopped including him. We killed him. Maybe not with pills, but we killed him. Don't say that, George whispered. Don't say that, John. It's true, John insisted, and his voice cracked, walls crumbling. We grew up and left him behind, and he couldn't handle it. John started crying, really crying, for the first time. I should have called him. I should have asked him to Wales. I should have. Ringo stepped forward, hugged John, then Paul, then George, pulling them together. 4 Beatles, in the rain, at a graveside, holding each other, orphaned. The rabbi finished prayers, asked if anyone wanted to speak. Paul stepped forward, shaking, could barely stand, but needed to speak. Brian was, voice breaking, starting over. Brian saw us when we were nothing. 4 boys from Liverpool, rough, uneducated, impossible. And he said, "You're going to change the world." And we laughed, and he made it happen. Everything we are, everything we became, started with Brian believing in us. And we didn't. We didn't say thank you enough. Paul collapsed again, couldn't continue. George helped him back. John didn't speak, couldn't speak, just smoked, stared at the grave, silent. But later, reporters caught him, asked for comment. Brian was the Beatles, John said. Voice dead. We're finished without him. We don't know how to be Beatles without Brian telling us how. He's gone, and I don't know. I think maybe we're gone too. After the service, family tradition, mourners throw earth on the coffin. Each person, handful of dirt, returning Brian to the earth. The Beatles stood in line, waiting their turn, dreading it. Paul went first, threw dirt, whispered, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." George went next, threw dirt, whispered, "Thank you for everything." Ringo went third, threw dirt, whispered, "We'll miss you, always." John went last, stood at the edge, couldn't move, couldn't throw, paralyzed. Finally, when he dropped the dirt, whispered something nobody heard, walked away. They stood in the rain after, as people left, as the cemetery emptied. Just 4 Beatles, and a grave, and rain, endless rain. "What do we do now?" Ringo asked. "I don't know," Paul admitted. "I genuinely don't know." "We keep going," George said. "For Brian, we keep going." "How?" John asked. "We can't even keep ourselves going." No answer, because there wasn't one. Because Brian was the answer, and Brian was gone. The Beatles tried to continue. Magical Mystery Tour, their first project without Brian. Disaster, directionless, chaotic. No one steering, no one managing. Brian would have known what to do, Paul kept saying. "Brian isn't here," John would reply, bitter, angry at death, at life, at everything. Their business fell apart. Apple Corps, money disappeared, organization collapsed. Brian handled this stuff, they said, helpless. Children without a parent. They fought more, argued constantly, little things becoming huge things. Brian had been the mediator, the peacemaker, the adult. Without him, they were just 4 boys, unable to navigate, unable to lead themselves. 1968, Ringo quit, came back. 1969, George quit, came back. 1970, Paul quit, didn't come back. The Beatles ended, officially, legally, finally, and everyone knew. It started August 29th, 1967, at a graveside, in the rain, when they lost the one person who'd held them together. Brian Epstein died at 32. Young, tragic, unnecessary. But his legacy, the Beatles, his boys, the music they made, lives forever. Without Brian, no Beatles, John said years later. That's just truth. He saw us, really saw us when we were nothing and made us something. I wish I'd told him, while he was alive, how much he meant. I wish I'd called him that weekend, asked him to come to Wales. I wish, but wishes don't bring people back. Paul has spoken about Brian throughout his life. He was family, Paul says. More than manager, he was our older brother. And we, in our thoughtlessness, our youth, our success, we forgot to take care of him. We got so big, we forgot he was still human, still fragile, still needing us like we needed him. That's my greatest regret. Not that we lost him, but that he felt lost first. Today, Brian Epstein is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, inducted 2014. The man who made the Beatles possible, the plaque reads, and it's true, without Brian, 4 boys stay in Liverpool, playing pubs, unknown. He saw magic, believed in magic, created magic, and died thinking his magic had stopped working, that he was unnecessary, obsolete, not knowing, never knowing. He was everything. August 29th, 1967. Rain poured on a Liverpool cemetery. 4 Beatles stood at a graveside. Boys without a father, artists without a champion. They tried to say goodbye, but how do you say goodbye to the person who made you possible? How do you thank someone when you didn't realize you needed to? How do you live with the guilt of surviving when they couldn't? Paul collapsed. John broke. George prayed. Ringo held them together. And the Beatles, the unstoppable Beatles, realized they were mortal after all. If Brian Epstein could see them now, Paul still touring, Ringo still drumming, the music still playing, would he know, would he understand that he didn't fail, that everything he built, everything he believed in, lasted, that his boys became legends because he saw them first? We hope so. We have to believe so. That somewhere, somehow, Brian Epstein knows. He didn't just make the Beatles. He made history. He made magic. He made love visible. And that never dies. Even when we do, even in the rain, even in the grief, love remains. Thank you, Brian, for everything, for believing, for loving. The Beatles wouldn't exist without you, and we, all of us, are grateful, forever grateful. Rest in peace, manager, friend, family. The 5th Beatle, forever.